there are cars that people recognize on sight. Some because of their fame, some because of their speed, and others simply because they look like nothing else on the road. But then, there are those special few classics frozen in time that make car lovers stop in their tracks, lean in, and whisper, "Whoa, is that a Studebaker?" That's the kind of reaction the 1973 Studebaker Lark Daytona Convertible 289 still gets. It doesn't just belong to another era, it is another era, captured in chrome, steel, and leather. The story of the 1973 Studebaker Lark Daytona Convertible begins not just with the car itself, but with a company fighting to make one last mark on the American road. Studebaker was one of the oldest names in the transportation business. They started out making wagons in the 1800s before moving into automobiles, and for decades, they held their own against the big names in Detroit. But by the early 70s, the writing was on the wall. Studebaker's car production had actually ceased back in 1966 in Canada, but the legend didn't fade. The Daytona name, the Lark legacy, and the spirit of Studebaker lived on in the custom and enthusiast community. So when you see a 73 Studebaker Lark Daytona Convertible with a 289 under the hood, you're looking at more than a car, you're looking at a phoenix risen from ashes. From the outside, the Lark Daytona Convertible carries a shape that's both simple and bold. There are no unnecessary flourishes, no attempts to look like something it's not. The lines are clean, the fenders confident, and that chrome grille up front? It doesn't try to intimidate, it welcomes you. The front fascia is elegantly squared, and the quad headlights give it a distinctly American look, solid, purposeful, and just a little rebellious. This is a car that wasn't chasing trends. It was doing its own thing, at its own pace. The convertible top, when folded down, reveals a low, stretched-out profile that screams vintage cool. And when it's up, it fits tight and proper, maintaining the car's balanced proportions. The wheels? Pure Americana. Steel with Studebaker hubcaps, dressed in white wall tires that wrap around the stance like a tuxedo shoe. When you see it rolling down the street, there's no mistaking its era, but there's also something timeless about it. The Daytona Convertible doesn't shout. It just knows it's cool. Step inside, and you're immediately transported back to the days of drive-in theaters and soda fountains. The interior is wide and welcoming, wrapped in vinyl that's aged with grace, like a good leather jacket. The bench seats, front and rear, are more like couches than car seats. They're roomy, plush, and built for cruising. For the heavy-duty channel, this isn't just about horsepower or rarity. It's about honoring the legends. Keeping them alive. Sharing their stories. Because every car has a soul, but only a few leave behind a legacy. And the 1973 Studebaker Lark Daytona Convertible? That's a legend worth remembering.